Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Sorry, Mataji, I'm starting here. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjnashalakaya Chesturam Nitanyena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavancha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Parana Sagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitancha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha Kalpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namayom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadesha Tarine. Mataji, did you project? Can I read Mataji?
Thank you so much, Mataji. And Mataji, starting reading, I just want to let everybody know. Now we are in volume 6 and it is chapter 22. I have done my part, and as it is projected, the paragraph starts with it is a Rakshasa civilization. So from there today we have to start our reading. Yes, Mataji, Vinaya Mataji. Please go ahead, Mataji.
It is a Rakshasa civilization, said Srila Prabhupada, and he began the cry of a typical street vendor, do rupaya and no knowledge. Krishna says Tata Dehantara Praptir, but all they understand is 2 rupees, 4 rupees. Where they will go in the next life, they do not understand. They do not understand eternal life. Only how to enjoy this life. They don't understand. They don't understand.
Mataji, Vinaya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, is it possible to keep the microphone closer or do something, because there's so much feedback and echo when you're speaking?
Okay. Okay, Mataji. Is that now good, Mataji?
Yes, this is better.
Okay, Mataji. I joined from the phone. That is why it is happening like this. My laptop. 1 second, Mataji. Maybe others can read, Mataji. I will read later. Thank you, Mataji.
Now it's going good. You want to continue or you want someone else to?
Yeah, Mataji, I will read maybe. I will read.
Okay,
it is a Rakshasa civilization, said Prabhupada, and he began crying of a typical street vendor, do rupaya, no knowledge. Krishna says, Tata Dehantara Praptir, but all they understand is 2 rupees, 4 rupees. Where they will go in the next life, they do not understand. They do not understand eternal. Only how to enjoy life. They do not understand one line of Gita. Yet they say, I read Gita. This is a darkness. Mataji, it's gone.
Can you stand outside
This is a darkness going on, and people are kept in darkness in the name of so-called university education. So Gurukula will be successful. It may take time. After touring the Gurukula facility, Prabhupada had the devotees place his chair down once more before turning to his own room. With most of the resident devotees of Krishna Balaram Mandir, including Gurukula students, gathered around him, Prabhupada made his emphatic point. You are thinking of management. He said, this manager, that manager, what room to utilize. But my question, how will you manage? Bring that person in Bengal. There is a superstition that you should not lie with your head towards the north side. So one man said, I have no head. For me, what is the question of keeping in northern or southern side? So your contemplation about management is like that. First of all, how will you manage? Simply considering office manager, and this is not good. First thing is bring students. Then it will be successful. That afternoon, Srila Prabhupada said he would speak to the Gurukul staff. They granted in his room, and he instructed them as only he could. He who was empowered to lead the old organization of Lord Chaitanya's movement. Our next business he began. It is to approach the well. To do business and tell children of our family are expected to educated with good behavior, good character and good devotion. Chanakya Pandit says, what is the use of begetting the children like cat and dog? They must learn and follow bhakti marga. We will teach our sons these things. Like that. I don't know what is that word. Next, Mataji, can you move little bit up? In the present society, he said, even Prime Minister son may be. The demon Hiranyakashipu hadn't wanted his son Prahalad to be a devotee, but to be like him, a cheater and diplomatic. And today's society was compressed of little Hiranyakashipu, but our idea is to create Prahalad. Srila Prabhupada continued at 250 students can be accommodated nicely throughout India and whole world. You cannot bring 250 students of kind of managers are you? What kind of managers are you? I say bring 500 like this. I fall down at your lotus feet. I flutter you 100 times. Kindly hear in this way. You have to bring not just the rooms for the management. I would like to stop here. Mataji, please forgive me for I read so many mistakes. Please forgive me.
Thank you so much, Mataji, and there is no need of forgiveness, Mataji. Only our Bhakti Srila Prabhupada counts. And please don't feel that, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Our sincerity and Bhakti Srila Prabhupada feels always. And Mataji, if anybody would like to go next?
I can read, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sarosandri Mataji. Please accept my Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki
Pranam.
Please, thank you.
Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much,
Mataji. So, should I read from Prabhupada said that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Prabhupada said that if the Gurukula was successful and if ISKCON got more standing in the future, the government could take guidance from ISKCON and not allow people to cheat, claiming to be a Brahmana or Kshatriya without the training. These things are now a dream. Prabhupada admitted, but it should be done. I'm thinking of so many things, but my life is ending. So keep these ideas. You especially, because you are young men. July brought the rainy season to Vrindavana. Clouds began building from the beginning of the month, and by mid-July it would be raining daily. The perfumed odor of the kadamba flower was heavy in the air, and after a rain, the neem blossoms would give off their onion-like aroma. The peacocks with their full feathered tails became ecstatic, dancing, cooing, and calling. Sometimes a sudden rainstorm would come even while Srila Prabhupada was sitting on his bed or at his dictating desk in an unsheltered part of the veranda, and his servants would rush out to move him inside as quickly as possible. Sometimes, when rain prevented his using the garden, he would recline instead on the little porch overlooking the garden. But at least the 120-degree heat was broken and the days became more bearable. Prabhupada quietly rested and continued his day's routine, waiting to see what Krishna desired. He would often wake about 6 a.m. and open his eyes to see Tamal Krishna at his bedside. He would then extend his hands, indicating that he wanted to sit up in bed. Tamal Krishna or another servant would then lightly stroke Srila Prabhupada's back while Srila Prabhupada spoke his mind. Very few devotees were visiting Vrindavana, and guests were rarely allowed to see Prabhupada. His health was not improving, nor did it seem to be at a crisis point as it had been in May. But because he was hardly eating anything, he was not building his strength. His main treatment consisted of hearing Kirtana, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Should I continue, Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. One of the topics which Srila Prabhupada dealt with during these days was the conception of a model universe for a Vedic planetarium. His disciple Ambarisha, great-grandson of Henry Ford, had pledged to donate for constructing a gorgeous museum planetarium in a major city such as Detroit or Washington, D.C. Srila Prabhupada wanted to present the structure of the universe as it is presented in the 5th canto, but so far no one had been able to show how it could be done. The devotees who tried were often baffled in an attempt to reconcile the Srimad Bhagavatam's description with the conceptions of modern astronomy. In Bombay, they had brought a so-called Vedic astronomer before Prabhupada, but he had been unable to make even a simple diagram. Modern scientists give no credence to the Bhagavatam's account describing the earth as Jambudvipa, an island in the middle of concentric oceans and islands. Nor do the scientists find mountains as tall as those described in the Vedic literature. Srila Prabhupada cautioned the devotees, however, not to be guided by their own Western prejudices, but to try and understand the universe as described in the Bhagavatam. And that was extremely difficult. Srila Prabhupada admitted, "When I wrote this, I thought it will not be possible for me unless somebody else helps me." "How did you write it?" Tamal Krishna asked. And Srila Prabhupada replied, "Krishna helped me. I don't know." He laughed. That somebody, Krishna, helped. Inevitably, the devotees asked, "But how will we explain it to the scientists?" "We do not require to satisfy the scientists," Srila Prabhupada replied. "We have to describe according to Shastra. If they can understand it, then they'll understand it. Otherwise, it is not our business to satisfy the so-called scientists. We are dealing with the real description." Tamal Krishna suggested that the planetarium would spell the downfall of Western civilization. "Yes," said Prabhupada, "I want to expose that they are cheating. Their only interest is to make money, and for this they cheat. If you can make this planetarium, it will be grand success, triumphant." In early July, some of the devotees in Vrindavana were working on sketches of the universe according to the Srimad Bhagavatam. They were puzzled, however, about how to account for satellite photos of the earth, which seemed to contradict the Srimad Bhagavatam's description. Srila Prabhupada's reply was that the scientists were bound up by their own conditioning and could not go beyond a certain point. When Tamal Krishna reiterated that Srimad Bhagavatam's explanation still didn't agree with modern travel around the earth, Prabhupada insisted that it did. You are prejudiced, he said. You are conditioned with preconceptions of how everything is. It is just like a bull going around in a circle. He is tied up and simply going around. So everyone is tied up. They cannot go beyond a point, and they cannot move any way just like the bull. They have cheated about going to the moon, so how can we believe them? They want to explain the whole universe, but how can we believe them? Once someone is shown to be a cheater, he will always cheat. A gentleman will say, I don't know, but they are not gentlemen. They are lower class. How can we believe them? They said the world is flat. Then Galileo said it was round, and for this he was almost hanged. They didn't know and he didn't know, but our knowledge doesn't change because it is perfect. As soon as there is change, it is not perfect.
Mataji?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for this wonderful reading. Anybody would like to go next?
Yeah, I can read. A few days later, the committee of devotees returned to Prabhupada and said that the question was still unanswered regarding how the Bhagavatam's description of Jambudvipa could accommodate the fact of traveling west from Los Angeles and reaching India. In reply, Srila Prabhupada stressed that they not concern themselves now with such a minor issue, and he referred to the Pacific Ocean as a drop of water. The descriptions of the Bhagavatam could not be adjusted within the limits of mundane knowledge. Prabhupada gave the example of how, after returning from Vaikuntha, Narada Muni had told a simple cobbler that Lord Narayana was passing an elephant through the eye of a needle. Oh, Narayana is so great, the cobbler said. But an educated Brahmana had said, it is simply stories. Narada had then asked the cobbler, how can you believe that Narayana is passing an elephant through the eye of a needle? Why? The cobbler said, I am sitting under a banyan tree and there are so many fruits, and each fruit contains so many seeds, which will grow into a big banyan tree. Srila Prabhupada said that with experimental logic one cannot understand the inconceivable. Everything is inconceivable, he said, and these rascals want to bring it as conceivable. Don't be puffed up by your so-called education, it has no value. One day, while Srila Prabhupada was sitting in the garden hearing some news from his secretary, several monkeys appeared on top of the high wall and looked down at the devotees. Srila Prabhupada had often asked the devotees to chase them, and once he had even asked that a monkey doll be hanged by the neck from the tree to frighten the others. But these monkeys came. Sometimes the sight of a monkey prompted Srila Prabhupada to remark about Darwin. One time he talked about how Krishna dealt with the monkeys as friends, giving them butter and playing with them in the forest. As he talked, small chipmunks would run along the top of the wall, and occasionally a pair of green parrots would swoop into the yard, chirping loudly and flittering within the branches of a bush, and then flying upwards into the sky above the garden. Suddenly, a large peacock alighted nearby and spread his gorgeous purple, blue, and green feathers as if posing for the pleasure of the devotees. While a brahmachari continued steadily fanning him, Srila Prabhupada sat silently. Tamal Krishna, however, had some business which he thought would not be too demanding for Srila Prabhupada. Sitting at his spiritual master's feet, he broached an important topic. Srila Prabhupada, he began, we are receiving a number of letters now from people who want to get initiated. So until now, since you were becoming ill, we asked them to wait. Tamal Krishna suggested that since the Guru has to take on the karma of his disciples, and since Srila Prabhupada's health was already weak, he should wait before accepting more disciples. Srila Prabhupada said nothing, and the Vrindavan piece was punctuated by the splashing of the fountain. Then he began to speak. He named 3 of his disciples and said, so these 3 can do. Tamal Krishna asked if devotees in America should write directly to these men for initiations. Nearby, said Prabhupada, and he named 3 more disciples, leading devotees in Europe. 5-6 men may divide, said Prabhupada, whoever is nearest. Tamal Krishna asked whether this would apply to both first and second initiations. Prabhupada said yes. So there is no need for devotees to write to you for first and second initiation, said Tamal Krishna. They can write to the man nearest to them, but all these persons are still your disciples. Anybody who would give initiation is doing so on your behalf? Yes, Prabhupada said. Tamal Krishna asked if there was anyone in India that Prabhupada wanted to do this, and Srila Prabhupada added another name. Srila Prabhupada asked to hear the names he had given, and Tamal Krishna recited 7 names. That's all, said Srila Prabhupada. Now you distribute for the time being 7 names. Then he added 2 more. So without waiting for me, said Prabhupada, whoever you consider deserves, that will depend on discretion. Srila Prabhupada said nothing else. Then, after a few minutes, Tamal Krishna asked if Prabhupada would like to hear a kirtan. Srila Prabhupada assented by a slight gesture, and the chanters who had been waiting came in to join him. The next morning, Srila Prabhupada added 2 more names, making a total of 11 disciples who would act as the Ritvik or representatives of the Acharya. Srila Prabhupada had not liked the idea of newcomers to ISKCON having to wait unnecessarily long to be initiated. Now initiations could continue regularly at the discretion of his 11 selected men. Hare Krishna. Continue from July 10.
Thank you, Preeti Mataji. Hare Krishna. Would anybody like to go next? Okay, Mataji, then I would like to go next. Hare Krishna. July 10. Tamal Krishna received a phone call from Gopal Krishna. The Mayapur temple had been attacked by a gang of 300 dacoits, hoodlums. 5 devotees were wounded in the hospital. Bhavananda Goswami had fired a shotgun at the attackers, injuring 2. The police, who didn't arrive until 2 hours after being called, had arrested Bhavananda and put him in jail. Srila Prabhupada became disturbed. If the dacoits attacked and we used our shotgun, he said, what is wrong? Later that day, Prabhupada heard the Hindustan Times version of the attack. According to the news report, some cows had wandered into ISKCON property and the devotees had beaten the cows. This had angered the villagers who, on coming to the temple to complain, had been shot at. 2 had been injured. The article named Bhavananda Goswami and at the end mentioned that the founder of the temple, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, had not been present. Srila Prabhupada heard the article, made a few comments and went on with his afternoon writings and translating as usual. But late that afternoon he called for Tamal Krishna. I am afraid of a big conspiracy, he said. The last line of the article says that founder Acharya was not present. They were sorry. They would have arrested me and put me in jail. Tamal Krishna scoffed that the news article was one-sided. That doesn't sound right, he said. That the devotees beat the cows. Devotees don't beat cows. Within a few days later, a letter came from Gopal Krishna giving the facts of the Mayapur incident. About 50 Muslim men were stealing crops from the ISKCON land. When Nitai Chanda tried to stop them, they attacked him, cutting his head in 3 places. Later, while he was being treated in the temple infirmary, the men came and beat Nitai Chanda and stripped one of the ladies naked. Meanwhile, another 250 men attacked, breaking the gates, cutting the phone and electric wires and destroying the water pumps. Waiting to scare the mob, Bhavananda had fired a shot in the air, but when they did not disperse, he fired another shot, injuring 2 men. I would like to stop here, Mataji. Thank you for this opportunity. Would anybody like to go next?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. From where I should read?
Anjana Gopika Mataji. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Please accept my Dhanavad Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Yes, Mataji. In the meantime, the attackers had broken.
Okay. Second. In the meantime, the attackers had broken both hands of one of the Gurukula teachers and beaten many other devotees. 2 hours later, the police arrived and recommended the devotees go to Krishnanagar police station, I think, 20 miles away to file a complaint. When the devotee had reached the station, they had been arrested and the 2 seriously injured devotees were denied medical treatment. Bhavananda Goswami was still in jail. Prabhupada said it was a plot drive of a Hare Krishna man. They want that all Bengal be completely godless, he said. When Tamal Krishna suggested that this incident would hurt their village preaching, Prabhupada replied, no, it will be to our favor very soon. I think the central government will take action. This is the same as Krishna against Krishna must win. No one can defeat Krishna. If I had been there, they would be changed. They would have asked that I ordered the shooting and arrested me. Now I am an old man. I cannot take an active stand. So you all must do everything carefully. Prabhupada continued to think and comment on the incident. The Gunda class does not like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said. They say Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made people emancipated. In Orissa, they say that after Maharaj Prataparudra met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he lost his Kshatriya strength. He was a very powerful king, but after he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became effeminate. I don't know what that. What is our reply to that? Asked Tamal Krishna. What can you reply? Said Srila Prabhupada. If they conclude something like that, they have no idea of spiritual life. They say this is disruptive. Lord Chaitanya is saying na dhanam na janam. We don't want such thing, and they want them. So how can you reply to such people? Everyone wants this, and everyone wants this. I am taking permission from Janavi. She said, stop, Mataji. Okay. Okay, thank you. Somebody can go and read, I think, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Anjana Gopika Mataji. So I believe everybody got a chance, and whoever did not get a chance, can you please go ahead, Mataji? Okay, Mataji. I'll just complete this paragraph, and after this, we will start with our realizations. What can you reply? Said Srila Prabhupada. If they conclude something like that, they have no idea of spiritual life. They say this is disruptive. Lord Chaitanya is saying, na dhanam, na janam. We don't want such things, and they want them. So how can you reply to such people? Everyone wants this, and we say that we don't want it. How can you make a compromise with such people? In your country also they say, what is wrong with illicit sex? What is wrong with intoxication? They say we are brainwashing. Is it not? Is it very difficult to push on this movement? Still we are doing. That is Krishna's grace. So I would like to stop here this reading session, Matajis, and I am thankful to each and every Mataji who joined this Lilamrta reading. So now we will start with our next enlightening session, that is sharing our realizations. So Matajis, I would like to request Preeti Mataji, Vinaya Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, Saroj Nandini Mataji, And I see Shamala Gopi Mataji is also on the call. Can you please start sharing your realizations for today's Lilamrta reading?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I just want to share my Mataji. Thank you so much. Such a beautiful reading, Mataji, today. Yeah, Prabhupada was talking about it's not about the money, it's about the culture that we are giving to our kid, our society. Our kids should be Krishna consciousness, otherwise it is like cats and dogs. We are not less more than the cats and dogs. We are even lesser than the cats and dog or animals. And also he was talking about the scientists, whatever they do, but it's still they're trying to invent the things that which is already there, and if something is there, they just wanted to research whether it is right or wrong. It's wasting the time. It is not at all which is not needed for the progress of the human society. That thing he was telling. And then other one is very nice thing, like devotees. Devotee means it's not about the knowledge. It's about the connection to Krishna. It's about the realize how much we are completely surrendering to Krishna, how much we are believing on his in unlimited potencies. He was giving an example of the cobbler and Brahmana. Cobbler, how the cobbler was believing that that elephant can go from the middle of the needle. Then the Brahmana could not believe it, but how he was giving an example of banyan tree with a small seed, how the banyan tree comes out. If Krishna desires, anything can happen. Krishna's potency is unlimited. So that was very nice point. And then about the garden that Srila Prabhupada's parrots and all that peacock and everything description was very nice. I just want to share my points, Mataji. Thank you so much. Please forgive me if any mistakes committed. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for coming on this call, reading Lilamrta and giving your wonderful realizations, Mataji. And whatever you shared, Mataji, those are very, very nice. And I too like the points of how to raise children in Krishna consciousness. And the stories also very amazing. The short stories, but we will get a moral from that stories, very big moral from the stories. Yes, thank you so much, Mataji. Mataji, would anybody go next?
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I can go.
Please, Mataji.
Yeah. So very nice explanation, Vinaya Mataji. And I would also like to share some of the points that Vinaya Mataji also said. I felt as the main thing that was there in today's reading is about how Srila Prabhupada was stressing about trying to find out the truth by believing in the authority rather than trying to find out with our own limited understanding and strength. So how can you perceive the inconceivable with our limited knowledge? It's not really conceivable to us. So in so many places, in so many lectures of Srila Prabhupada also, he keeps on stressing this point that we have limited capacity and our knowledge is limited. And we cannot conceive the inconceivable with our limited senses and limited knowledge. So that was one thing. And the example of the cobbler and Narada Muni, that was very, very appropriate in this context. And very short story, but yet we get the message through that. And also I liked the mood of Srila Prabhupada when he was discussing about the planetarium, that he was planning to build a planetarium, and that he was just saying that I would like to build the planetarium, but I just need some help to build it. So what was his mood? He was very humble, and he was just trying to fulfill his mission of his Guru Maharaj. And he had so many dreams and so many things that he wanted to fulfill. And he did also many things. So I was just wondering what Srila Prabhupada dreamed about. It's slowly coming up as the Vedic planetarium in Sridham Mayapur. was just remembering that when we were reading that. And also I like the story of Maharaj Prataparudra. Srila Prabhupada brought about the example about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Maharaja Prataparudra. That also I liked very much. I think I would just stop here. Thank you, Mataji, for the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Sarojanandini Mataji, for coming on this call and reading and sharing your sweet realizations, Mataji. And your realizations regarding planetarium and everything are wonderful. And I too like the what we can say the last one, Prataparudra, how the general people of Orissa, how they are what we can say analyzing when he contacted with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how they are analyzing the qualities, how they think in their eyes the power or strength of Prataparudra has been little bit degraded, like that they are thinking. But we know that how much spiritual power he gained with accompanying with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Mataji, I do like that. Thank you so much, Mataji, for your realizations. Hare Krishna. Mataji, would anybody like to go next? Preeti Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, Shamala Gopi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Thandos Pranam. Sorry, Mataji, this is Shamala, Shamala Gopika Mataji. Actually, today I can able to hear only, so because I'm working, so I'm not able to share points. Thank you, Mataji.
No, totally fine, Mataji. Thank you. Thank you so much for being on the call and giving your assistance. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for the wonderful sharing. And it was very, very beautiful to hear from all of you, all your realizations. So, a couple of things I was thinking of during this reading was when Prabhupada was talking about the fifth canto and about the Vedic planetarium and talking about the scientists and all that. He was telling, when Tamal Krishna Maharaj asked him, so how did you write it? And Prabhupada said, I don't know, Krishna helped. So that I thought was very, very sweet, and it's also very true, because when Srila Prabhupada wrote the Bhagavatam, obviously in many places he says that I really don't know, Krishna just wrote it, and sometimes that's why Prabhupada reads his own books, because it was entirely Krishna's guiding when he was writing the Bhagavatam. So that is one thing. And the second thing is, of course, about the usual press, how the press actually concocts things. Even to this day, we see the problem with the press. The press, they just change up things so much. So that is something that had come up again. We are seeing this pattern happening over and over. So that is something that stuck to my mind. And also about the beauty of Vrindavan, about how Prabhupada, each time he would see a monkey, he would have different thoughts. Sometimes he would be reminded of Darwin's theory. Sometimes he would be thinking of, how the monkeys are actually a part of their characteristics. And then this thing about, how to scare a monkey. I had heard earlier as well about how they really scare a monkeys, like they actually show that a monkey doll is being hung upside down and the monkeys get scared. I thought that was very hilarious, but then that's what apparently they do. So all these was interesting in today's reading. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Preeti Mataji. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful realizations and giving your association continuously with us, Mataji. It is like a strength for us, all of us. And whatever you shared today is very wonderful, Mataji. Yes, I was also surprised when I see that how the press changed the whole scenario, what has happened really. And they have given a different scenario and printed the same in the next day Hindustan Times newspaper. Yeah, we can see from that Prabhupada's time till today, the press is playing the same role like duplicity. giving not the original or actual facts to the public. From that day, we can see how the press is playing the role. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Especially when it is to do with any spiritual organization, not just limiting to ISKCON, especially when it is to do with a spiritual organization or a spiritual movement, definitely always something twisted and negative. So, disease, I think, in this material world.
Yes, that is true, Mataji, and I have seen so many today's news channels also, how they are depicting in a different way, and to increase the TRPs, how they are projecting the news in some different ways, Mataji. I have seen so many news channels nowadays, Mataji. Yeah.
And how, as Prabhupada always mentions, that in this age and time, all materialistic things which has to not be glorified is being glorified and given so much importance, while other real things, Sat Vishaya, which is actually needed in this world, that is actually being put down so badly. So it's disease in this age and time, and it's very, very sad actually to see all this.
Yes, correct, Mataji, because the general public are not ready to accept this hardcore truth, Mataji. That's where they are giving in the wrong way. That's true, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you, Supriya.
Thank you, Preeti Mataji. I also was thinking about this point when you said Srila Prabhupada said that, I don't know, just Krishna made me write it. So I was just wondering, how single-handedly one person wrote so many books. And then, during initiation time, they asked this question, how many books of Srila Prabhupada have you read? So I'm just wondering, single-handedly he has written so many books, translated into so many, word-to-word translation and, full translation and then purport and then such clear and, no doubts about what he has written, and everything is so logical and everything fits into the sequence, and, amazing how he single-handedly must have written, not just written, but he has done so many other accomplishments also in his life, and it's really inconceivable how he could have done it.
Inconceivable, yeah, very true, very true. So many letters, writing so many letters, and whatnot, yeah.
Yeah, Mataji, I just want to add one more to this conversations, Mataji. I have seen previously some short videos of Srila Prabhupada, and in that he is meeting with worlds or some Chinese or some Japanese book writer. At that time, he believes that he had done wonderful translations in his age, and he is having conversation with Srila Prabhupada. And one of the questions he posed to Srila Prabhupada was, I have translated at that time he translated some 6 or 7 books, and how many books have you translated up to this? He asked the question to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada is telling, I have translated up to like 50 or 60, I believe, Mataji, to that time. And Srila Prabhupada also added, I toured around the globe like 14 times. So this is the achievement I have done. Have you done any of this? And the person is nowhere near to the Prabhupada's achievement. He was just shut his mouth, Mataji. So he was like that, seeing the success of Srila Prabhupada in this mission towards the world, like 14 times he told Mataji. So no words for him, Mataji. Yeah, that's
very nice. Yeah.
Strength. Yeah. Mataji, I see Funny Mataji. Hare Krishna, Funny Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. I just joined right at the end, so I just figured I'd listen to your realizations because I wasn't able to listen as you were reading.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm just enjoying listening to you guys. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So, Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, can you please share your realizations, Mataji?
No, Mataji, please you go, Mataji. If I like any point, I missed some of the things while reading, I was not fully focused. But when I hear from you, I can get some point, Mataji, and if I like, I'll share later.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much, Mataji. Definitely. We will wait for your realizations, and I will start with my realizations, Mataji. So today's session, Matajis, it starts with opening paragraph. It states like it is a Rakshasa civilization. So previously, I'll give a little recap of what we have read in our last Lilamrta. So in that we can see how Prabhupada is trying to make Gurukula in Krishna Balram temple near that, and how he has acquired some land, and what are his future plans, how to construct the Gurukula, how many office rooms, management, and how many rooms for children, and what are the big plans to attract children, and what is the estimation of children should be enrolled in the Gurukula, so that it can be widespread and reach to more public, and so that many can be benefited with this Gurukula. So in the same mode we are continuing to this paragraph. So Srila Prabhupada says that this is a material world, or what is the kind of civilization they are having is compared to Rakshasa civilization. So he is telling that most of the people are saying like do rupaya, do rupaya. They don't have the knowledge, and there Krishna says that tata dehantara prapti. They don't know what is their next life. They want to enjoy the present life. They do not understand the eternal life. And Srila Prabhupada is telling they don't understand Gita. They are doing or living in the darkness. And he is telling this so-called university education is like in the darkness. And we know that how Srila Prabhupada has mentioned our universities as slaughterhouses. It is not giving proper education at all. So he is telling Gurukula type of education is most successful, and this is the best education we can provide in this age of civilization. So again in this Gurukula education, he is telling how to conduct the Gurukula, how to do the management, and how to canvas. He is not using marketing word, he is telling like canvas. It is so much a beautiful word that it is like marketing. So we can see how we use the word marketing for any product or any service we do now in our world or in our society now. But he is telling the word canvas, how to canvas. So this is very good word I feel. And he is telling how to do canvas so that it will reach to more public, and how to manage also. So he is telling we have to bring more people, more students to the Gurukula than to have more number of managers. So it is no point of having number of managers with less students, but we want to focus on bringing more students. So in this he is quoting the Chanakya Panditas, what he is telling regarding students and education, and what is the benefit of having students, kids or children, and how to raise them. So Chanakya Pandita says, what is the use of begetting children like cats and dogs? They must be learned with Bhakti Marga. So we have to teach them from childhood, like Prahlad Maharaj inculcates the qualities of bhakti, devotional service from that age, so that they will become a responsible citizens. So we can see from this also. So he is also telling the same in this context, the story of Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj story, and we all know that, and he is telling that everybody should canvas in a very attractive way, so that we can bring like 250 or more than 250 students to Gurukulas. So we can fill them with students, not with managers. So it is very now also he is giving like managerial instructions. And we have seen in our previous session also, Prabhupada is very much keen about not wasting an inch or bit of the land without no purpose. He wants to utilize every inch of the land. And now he is telling, and next we can see how we have to train our children, and how we have to train them in a more spiritual way, so that they develop more responsible, more spiritual qualities from childhood onwards. That is the main reason of having a Gurukula. So these kind of qualities we don't find in our modern education systems and going on to the universities also. At any point or at any stage, there is no point of responsibility and no point of teaching spiritualism to the children. So he want to mainly inculcate this kind in the Gurukula system. Basically, Gurukula system is molding the children in a spiritual way. And coming down from there, we can see he is describing Vrindavan in the month of July. We have seen how Vrindavan is in the month of July, how it is hot, how the weather is very sunny, very hot, how the people are busy doing the things before the sun rises, and how they are feeling, we have seen in the previous classes also. Now we can see the beautiful side of the Vrindavan in the month of July. How it was very, very beautiful with Kadamba flowers blossom everywhere, giving their like onion-like aroma, and how the peacocks are dancing with their full feathered tails, and how the weather is cooling. We can see the ecstatic or pleasant mood of Vrindavan in the month of July after few rains, and we can see how Srila Prabhupada is also very much pleased to see the cooling temperatures down. And from there we can see how Prabhupada's routine was there. Again, whatever is the weather or however is the health condition, his daily routine is hearing Kirtana, reading Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he is having a good conversation with Tamal Krishna Goswami regarding the Vedic planetarium. So while I am reading this, I got stuck to one thing in my mind. So now we are living in America and we can see so many amusement parks, so many, what we can say, like thrilling kind of experiences when we go to some kind of parks, or many we can see like I'm not getting the actual word to tell them, so we can see like Disneyland or some kind of things we go and we see that. But at 50 years back itself, Prabhupada has depicted that we should have a what we can say, this kind of amusement, not amusement, that is not the correct word I believe, this kind of what we can say, planetarium, where people can analyze what is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita, so that the general masses who are not able to read these books and digest what is the philosophy in that, by seeing this planetarium, they can easily understand what is written in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we can see how he has taken the help of Ambarish Maharaj, who is a great grandson of Henry Ford, and how Ambarish Maharaj is also willing to donate much of his property to this Vedic planetarium. And we can see how Prabhupada is instructing people also, disciples also, not to deviate from the books or Vedic scriptures, whatever it is written, and not to speculate on their own mind and construct the Vedic planetarium at their own will and wish. He is telling strictly not to deviate, and he is also telling on the account of describing how Jambu Dvipa is in the middle of concentric oceans and islands. So he doesn't want to give false picture of the Srimad Bhagavatam. He wants to do it very strictly in the same manner, in the same lines. And he's telling the modern day scientists cannot estimate, or it is out of their reach, out of their knowledge, how the Srimad Bhagavatam explains very tall mountains. So he's telling Western peoples also not to show their prejudice and not to try to understand the universe in their own way, but try to understand what it is said in Bhagavatam. So he is very much concerned. And again he is telling to scientists, if they cannot believe, just leave them, or else if they can believe what is in Srimad Bhagavatam and how it is constructed, it is well and good also. And again now moving on to next thing, we can see the story of cobbler. Just a moment, Mataji. I just want to, I think I may be missing some points. Yeah. And again how he's telling scientist, if he cannot believe, but it is the actually it is in the Vedas or Srimad Bhagavatam. If it is not, if it is out of his knowledge, we cannot help him. But that is the actual things it is described in Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. And again moving down to story of Narada Muni and the story of cobbler. So we have seen how the educated Brahmana could not understand the simple logic. And again from reading this story, I got to remember a small story, a little story when I read few years back in some children's book. And the story goes on like this. One of the businessmen at the olden days, he's passing through, and it was a hot summer and he wanted to take rest under some trees, some shade. So he's passing through that, and he saw some big shaded tree, and he was taking rest for that time. Before taking rest, he is thinking that some little it is kind of little like blueberry fruit kind of fruits are grown on the trees and they are falling down. So before going to sleep, he is thinking of God. Why God has made this big tree and why has given a little fruits? How silly God is like. And he was thinking like that, and he just what we can say, he went into deep sleep. After a few hours, when he was awake from the sleep, and when he saw all the little fruits fall on him and around him, and he was surrounded by the fruits, then when he opened his eyes, then he was very much surprised. Then now he got to know that God has done a very, very wonderful thing. He has very, what we can say, his intelligence is out of human reach. He had made this big, wonderful tree with a lot of shade, but he has given a small fruits. Why means, if anybody are sleeping like under this tree like me, if those big fat fruits fall on me, I would have died. So he is again thanking God for making this beautiful nature, creation. So he is at the same time he is comparing before he is going to sleep, like how there are big pumpkins to a small creeper, and how this big tree is having a little fruits. So he was comparing like that. But when he again woke up from his sleep, and he was praising the God for his wonderful creation. So from seeing this also, I got to remember that story. And Srila Prabhupada again is telling the modern education, people should not be puffed up with their education. It has no value. And we all seen the story of monkeys, how Priti Mataji is telling. It was very interesting and very hilarious also, with the monkeys and chipmunks around him. And again moving on to this next thing, we see how Srila Prabhupada has many cases pending, many people has requested for initiation. At that point there are 3 people, and again 7 people, and again finally it came to 11 initiations. But Ramal Krishna Goswami is little bit concerned about Srila Prabhupada's health, because if Guru is taking so many disciples, then at the same time Guru is accepting their karma too. So he is concerned that Srila Prabhupada's health was already weak, and if he is accepting again these disciples, again he has to take the risk of suffering more. But we have seen that how Srila Prabhupada was determined to take 11 disciples, and how Samal Krishna Goswami is giving their respected names at the time of initiation, so we can all see them. And now next we can see that July 10th, so there is a mob of gangsters of like 300 around people, how they attacked the ISKCON Mayapur temple, and we have seen how the police depicted this actual facts into a false, totally, completely 100% false facts they have printed in Hindustan Times. It is no way connected to the actual thing happened. And we can see how Srila Prabhupada is again worrying about it, may be like kind of big conspiracy in the name of this attack, and depicting the story completely differently. So he was very much concerned about this, and he is saying, talking to Tamal Krishna Goswami also. So we have seen this also. And moving from there, we can see how Bhavananda Goswami been arrested, and how the people of ISKCON and how the Gurukula teachers are harassed during this mob attacking the campus of Mayapur thing. And we can see how Srila Prabhupada is seeing this, all the incidents, and how he is a little bit concerned or worrying about the big conspiracy behind all these things also. And again, next, moving on this, he's telling how the people of Orissa think about Lord Chaitanya, and how Maharaj Prataprudra, when he met Chaitanya Prabhu, so how he lost his Kshatriya strength too. So how he became little bit effeminate. So this is the kind of level of knowledge that people, general public of Orissa think after what we can say, when Maharaj Prataprudra met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So these are the kind of level of understanding the people are having at that time. So from there we can see how Lord Chaitanya says that na dhanam na janam, we don't want any kind of things, but we just want to take forward this movement. So he's telling again Prabhupada. So we can find this kind of mood in the same in Western world also. There is, people say what is wrong in having illicit sex, what is wrong in having intoxication, and if Srila Prabhupada or Srila Prabhupada devotees say something, then again they will say it's a kind of brainwash. They will keep a word like brainwashing. So in this very difficult mood, in this very difficult conditions, environment and different people, so he is taking forward this Krishna consciousness movement. So Srila Prabhupada is telling all these things is happened due to Krishna's mercy. All this has happened. Yeah, these are some of the points I would like to share, Mataji. These are some points I covered. And if anybody has some more points to share, Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji. All will be benefited with all your realizations. Thank you so much, Mataji, for again having this Lilamrta. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Supriya Mataji. I am just the entire summary that you give every time, and not only that, but all the homework that you do. So you were connecting it to so many events, and I was just surprised listening to everything. How nicely you have gone through the content, I think, beforehand itself, and then come up with nice, relatable other content which will be applicable in this reading. So amazing, Mataji. So much effort you put in. So beautiful. Thank you, Mataji, for giving us such a lovely presentation at the end. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Always listening and always giving your what we can say comments, Mataji. And actually, I don't read previously, Mataji. I start reading with all of you, Mataji. And while reading, I will just connect to whatever I read in my previous like that, Mataji. I
Very
have
nice.
to read a previous day or like that, Mataji.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Even better. I was actually thinking when you were, quoting those books, like that, the story books and all that, like, oh, she's connecting it from so many places. And then you were giving the example of amusement park, and I was thinking, this is
Yes, yes. Whenever I see this kind of parks in this America, Mataji, we don't get to see in India, but whenever I see, so I used to feel, why can't we construct this kind to in a Krishna conscious way, so that people at the same time they will get a kind of enjoyment, and they'll get a kind of related things to Krishna consciousness also. They will be more connected if it is in a playful way. So I use so many times like that. But seeing Vedic planetarium, it has become true, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Supriya Mataji. Yes, thank you so much. That's why I'm glad I joined. I knew I would, at least if I haven't read along with you guys, at least I could hear the realizations and your wonderful recap of everything. Very, very nice. Hare Krishna, I really appreciate it.
Mataji, funny Mataji, thank you so much. I thought I missed you, but you joined and you gave your association, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Supriya Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Very, very beautiful summary, Mataji. Your hearing skills are very, very high, Mataji.
Thank you for saying me. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Vrinda. Thank you. Thank you, Vinaya Mataji. Thank you so much.
You completely summarized everything, Mataji. You didn't miss even a single point. It's so beautiful, Mataji, how you remember everything. This is a special gift for you from Krishna and Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It's only Prabhupada's mercy. That's it.
Hare Krishna, Supriya Mataji, really amazing the way you have connected different things and the summary that you gave, and the point that you were mentioning about amusement parks. I think you were looking for the word entertainment. So, Prabhu, nowadays kids want to go spend the summer visiting an entertainment park or a museum, or they want to go out somewhere. So if they can just see the planetarium and then learn, there'll be so many things to learn from the planetarium, instead of just going and visiting a museum and then seeing some dead animals parts, or even anything, even like vehicles or something like that. Everything, all the aspects will be satisfied in a planetarium, I think. So I was just recollecting that. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. Yes. I have seen the blueprint of the Vedic planetarium and how they constructed the levels from starting there are so many levels, and how intricacy they have maintained in the building this Vedic planetarium, Mataji. It's far better than these American amusement parks or entertainment things or anything, Mataji. No way comparison, Mataji. So wonderful, and hats off to the people who have given the blueprint, Mataji. So I'm just waiting when it will be completed. So wonderful.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
So sweet, Supriya Mataji, you could connect all these things, and so much compassion in your heart. And so other people also can get benefit, how we can bring these things in front of the general people, and so the Vedic culture. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you for your all the effort, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Anjana Gopika Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji, then I would like to pay my obeisances to all the Vaishnavis who joined today's call. And thank you each and every Mataji, Preeti Mataji, Vinaya Mataji, Shamala Gopi Mataji, Anjana Gopika Mataji, Panishwari Mataji, Sarojanandini Mataji, who joined this Lilamrta session and giving their wonderful realizations and wonderful association. I would like to pay my obeisances to all the Matajis. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa
राशि की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय, लीलामृता की जय, वृंदा की जय,
सुप्रिया माता जी की
सुप्रिया माता जी की जय। थैंक यू सुप्रिया माता जी।
वृंदा की जय।
Thank you, Vrinda.
Thank you,
Hare
Hari.
Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you, Mataji.